Descartes is probably one of the most famous philosophers of all time. His works have greatly affected the Western world.
Imagine a philosopher whose ideas were so revolutionary that they not only transformed mathematics and science, but also laid the groundwork for modern philosophy. René Descartes is often hailed as the father of modern philosophy. His statement, "Cogito ergo sum," I think, therefore I am, became a fundamental element in Western thought, emphasizing the role of reason in the pursuit of knowledge. Descartes' innovative approach, which involved doubting all previously accepted ideas to establish new foundations for knowledge, marked a significant departure from the scholastic Aristotelian traditions of his time. This method influenced subsequent philosophical discourse and contributed to the development of the scientific method. In this video, we'll delve into the life and legacy of René Descartes, exploring how his ideas continue to shape our understanding of philosophy, science, and mathematics. Stay with us to uncover the fascinating story of a man whose quest for certainty redefined the boundaries of human knowledge. René Descartes was born on March 31, 1596, in the central French town of La Haye-en-Touraine, a place that would later be renamed in his honor. The youngest of three siblings, he lost his mother, Jeanne Brochard, before his first birthday. After her passing, Descartes and his siblings were sent by their father, Joachim, who served on the provincial parliament, to live with their maternal grandmother. Even after Joachim remarried, the children continued to live with her. Recognizing the value of a solid education, Descartes' father enrolled him at the Jesuit-run college Royal Henri Le Grand in La Flèche when he was just 8 years old. He remained there for 7 years. Though Descartes was a diligent student, his health appeared to be fragile, allowing him the rare privilege of sleeping in late, while his peers adhered to a strict daily schedule. His curriculum included rhetoric, logic, metaphysics, natural philosophy, ethics, and the mathematical arts, a category that encompassed music and astronomy. These subjects laid the intellectual foundation for his later achievements in philosophy. He would go on to study law at the University of Poitiers, completing a baccalaureate degree in the field. Later, Descartes dabbled in theology and medicine, though he eventually chose a different path. As he wrote years afterward in Discourse on the Method, published in 1637, he decided to, quote, "seek no knowledge other than that which I could find in myself, or perhaps in the great book of the world." That decision led him to travel extensively, briefly serve in the military, and witness battle firsthand. During this period, he met Isaac Beeckman, a Dutch thinker who would significantly shape his intellectual development. Just a year after completing his law degree, Descartes experienced a series of 3 vivid dreams, visions that he later described as life-altering and instrumental in setting the direction for his lifelong philosophical pursuits. René Descartes is often regarded as the founder of modern philosophy due to his groundbreaking shift from the more emotional and tradition-based thought of the early 1600s to a system grounded in reason and doubt. Though not all of his concepts were completely novel, the systematic method he used to approach them was. Descartes advocated for a process of intellectual reset, setting aside every assumed truth and rebuilding knowledge from absolute certainty. His first undeniable truth was the simple acknowledgement of his own existence, captured in the iconic phrase, "I think, therefore I am." Believing that all truths are interconnected, Descartes set out to understand the natural world using logic, science, and mathematics, a methodology that mirrored and in some ways built upon the empirical framework introduced earlier by Sir Francis Bacon in England. Alongside his famous Discourse on the Method, he authored other influential works, including Meditations on First Philosophy and Principles of Philosophy, cementing his place in intellectual history. Although remembered primarily for his philosophical legacy, Descartes made notable contributions to science and mathematics that earned him considerable respect as a thinker beyond philosophy. He developed Cartesian geometry, a blend of algebra and Euclidean principles still taught today. In optics, his work on refraction explained phenomena like rainbows with scientific precision. He even attempted a naturalistic model for the formation of the solar system. However, wary of religious backlash after Galileo's condemnation, Descartes was cautious in revealing some of his more controversial ideas. His fears proved valid. Pope Alexander VII eventually placed several of his writings on the Church's index of prohibited books. Though Descartes never married, he had a daughter named Francine in 1635, while living in the Netherlands. Descartes had moved to the Netherlands in 1628 to escape the distractions of French life, and remained there for more than 2 decades. Francine's mother was a maid in the household where he was staying, and he had arranged for the child to be raised in France and given a proper education. Sadly, Francine passed away from fever at the age of 5. In 1649, at the invitation of Queen Christina of Sweden, he relocated to Stockholm to serve as her personal philosophy tutor. His delicate health, noted since childhood, was challenged by the Queen's demand for early morning lessons. Accustomed to working from bed in the late morning, Descartes struggled with the 5 a.m. schedule. He soon contracted pneumonia and passed away on February 11, 1650, at the age of 53. Because he was Catholic, and Sweden was predominantly Protestant, he was initially buried in a cemetery designed for unbaptized infants. His remains were later transferred to the historic Saint-Germain-des-Prés church in Paris. During the French Revolution, they were moved once again, and legend has it that only his heart was returned, with the rest said to lie in the Pantheon. Descartes' blend of logical reasoning and metaphysical inquiry would go on to shape centuries of philosophical thought. He explored the relationship between body and soul, theorizing that the pineal gland acted as their point of connection. His theory of dualism, which distinguished the realm of physical matter from that of thought and spirit, sparked deep theological and philosophical debates. Yet the very approach he developed, methodical skepticism, gave future thinkers the framework to question, analyze, and build upon his work. In doing so, Descartes didn't just influence the course of philosophy, he turned us all into questioners of the truth.